G7 leaders call for West Asia war to end, but G7 leaders clear backing for Israel. Canada says no nuke weapons for Iran. So that's the big update that is coming in amid the escalating tensions and conflict between Iran and Israel. The G7 leaders have called for the war to end. G7 leaders have clearly backed Israel, and in fact Canada has said that no new nuke weapons for Iran. Now this comes amid the escalating tensions with no signs of de-escalation between Iran and Israel on either side. And amid all of this, the G7 leaders have called for the West Asia war to end.
G7 leaders also reiterated our commitment to the pursuit of peace and stability in the Middle East. Made clear that Iran is the principal source of regional instability and terror. And we've been consistently clear that Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. We urge that the resolution of the Iranian crisis leads to a broader de-escalation of hostilities, including a ceasefire in Gaza.
And my colleague Gaurav Sawant is back with us. Gaurav, the G7 leaders have called for the West Asia war to end. In fact, they have clearly backed Israel and also said that no nuke weapons for Iran. Could you give us more details on this?
Rising tensions in West Asia have been a cause for major concern for G7 countries. This directly impacts global economy, global supply chains, and that is why G7 countries, their entire effort was to ensure that those tensions could be dialed down. Of course, American President Donald Trump had a completely different take on it. He, of course, left the G7, went back to the Situation Room in White House, and information that came in after that was movement of US military hardware to West Asia. The manner in which you have tankers ferrying, escorting or mid-air refueling in terms of their F-16s, their F-15s, the F-35s. So fighter jets are being moved to West Asia. 3 aircraft carrier battle groups are being moved to West Asia, to that entire region, including Carl Vinson and Nimitz. And you have the B-2 bombers with their GBU-57. So the indications are very clear. The B-2 bombers are the only aircraft, the stealth bombers, that can be used to target Iranian nuclear facility at Fordow. That's the only place which cannot be targeted as effectively with the military hardware that Israel has been using so far. Therefore, the entire focus does indicate that the next 24 to 48 hours may see US either use its military hardware as pressure tactics to get Iran to come to the negotiations table and give up its nuclear program, even in the form of enrichment of uranium on its soil. This is something that Iran says is just not acceptable to it. But after the damage that's been caused in the past 5 days, and the killing of military leadership in Iran, it remains to be seen whether Iran will now be more open to negotiations on this aspect. However, Iran has also pounded several areas inside Israel. So all of that is an indication that West Asia tensions are only set to spiral in the days ahead.